Now, let's get an update on the situation in the Bahamas and the very difficult relief efforts. Stephanie Sy is our new national correspondent at the NewsHour. She'll be based in Phoenix, but she joins us here at the desk tonight with the story. Welcome, Stephanie. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Judy. It's great to be part of your team. Unfortunately, the scope of Hurricane Dorian's destruction in the Bahamas is still coming into focus. The island of Abaco is virtually uninhabitable, and there's major destruction near Freeport and the surrounding area on Grand Bahama. Government officials say 2,500 people are listed as missing. Some of them could be in shelters or still on the islands. Earlier this evening, I spoke with Christy Delafield of the relief group Mercy Corps. She joined us via Skype from the eastern part of Grand Bahama, and I began by asking what it looks like there.
The destruction in Abaco really was complete. The homes were flattened. It's not quite like that here in Freeport. The buildings were built a little bit better. They fared a little bit better, but people still don't have running water. A lot of windows were blown out. The wind did a tremendous amount of damage on roofs, and the floodwaters were devastating. Floodwaters of up to maybe 8 feet just destroyed people's homes and people's vehicles with salty, contaminated water.
We know that those floodwaters were dangerous as well, and the government is now saying that there are 2,500 people that are still unaccounted for. Is that surprising to you to hear that number?
Sadly, no. This is something that we were hearing from people all along in the past week, people saying that they had loved ones that they hadn't heard from, or that they didn't really know where people had fled to or how they had fared. So this is devastating, and we need to learn more information, and the search and rescue needs to continue.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that the death toll will go that high.
No, it's a thing that just we need to get through the confirmation process, and that's managed through the government, and they are gonna work to understand the full picture, and it just takes time.
Let's talk about the response for groups like Mercy Corps in week 2 versus how you responded in the days right after the hurricane. What are you focused on now?
Today, the focus is really on connecting with those organizations locally that understand whose needs haven't been met. We're still really trying to bring in urgently needed supplies, clean water, food, tarps, rope, all those things that need to be brought in great volume. But at the same time, we understand that there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. Different people lost different things and need different things. And this is a part of a response where you start to see maybe pockets of people that are more difficult to get to that aren't getting help that they need. I think that one of the other things that you might not expect that's really been useful in this situation is Mercy Corps bringing in solar lanterns, so people have a little bit more light, the electricity grid being knocked out. But they also have the little USB chargers so people can charge their phones as the cellular service is coming back. That's a really important way to communicate out with different communities, help people reach their loved ones, and access emergency services.
It's September, and school should be starting for kids there this month. Will they be able to go to school anytime soon?
School was supposed to start on Monday. We're seeing a lot of people, a lot of kids who just before the storm were buying school uniforms, we're buying new clothes. They had paid school fees, which is how that operates here in the Bahamas. And it's a real disappointment for a lot of families who aren't going to be able to send their kids back to school. We're also hearing that it might be as much as 2 months before the electricity gets back up and running. Of course, local officials are working really quickly and as fast as they can to get that to happen for schools and other really essential resources, but it may be some time.
When it comes to the Bahamian economy, what are the longer-term ramifications that are becoming evident now?
So this is an economy that is really driven by tourism. As a lot of people who visited the Bahamas know, it's a beautiful destination. It's an archipelago made up of hundreds of islands. These 2 islands being devastated aren't in a position to welcome tourists, but the Bahamian government is really concerned that they're seeing fewer visitors and just depression overall of the tourist economy, which could have broader ramifications moving forward. And there are a lot of people that are wondering if they're going to have jobs in the next year, 2 years.
A tough road ahead for sure. Christy Delafield of Mercy Corps, thank you so much for your insights there in Grand Bahama.
Thank you for having me.